Antonin Bessner with the first question.
Good afternoon, Alistair. During the course of the season, these video review calls, they tend to balance themselves out. Today, it went your way. How relieved are you that you were able to secure the 3 points?
There's a lot of debate about VAR, but at the same time, when it comes to offside, it's pretty clear. You're either offside or you're onside, and in this case, he was off. So they made the right call, and of course, these things do tend to balance themselves out. But at the same time, he was offside, so we're happy, obviously. But it is what it is. It was the letter of the law. So yeah, you can say we got a little bit lucky, but that's the game.
Jean-François Théotonio.
Hi, Alistair. Thanks for doing this. Maybe some words about Gyorgy Mihailovich. I mean, he seems to be on fire this season right now. And do you think that he could get a call to the US team maybe sometime soon? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great shout. I mean, first of all, I'll be the biggest advocate for him being a front runner for MVP. I think so often being at a team north of the border has affected guys' chances at winning personal accolades like that. Getting into best 11s, going into the MVP race, unless your name is Giovinco or something along those lines, it's going to be really difficult. But you look at what he's doing, the numbers he's putting up. But if you just watch the game and you're a fan of the game, you understand that he's playing at a different level. For me, it's just whenever I get a chance, get some time on the ball, it's pick your head up and look for him because he's that kind of player. He's a game changer. And, playing against the U.S. and knowing a couple guys in the team, I know he's knocking the door. It's a really difficult position right now to break into in that U.S. men's national team group. They're really deep there. But at the same time, he's more than talented enough to play for that. So I think that if he keeps performing at this level, which I have no doubt he will, he should be a front runner for MVP. And we need to keep pushing that narrative as a collective group from the media up north, really pushing that so that it goes mainstream, because it's such a narrative driven award where stats definitely play a part, but at the same time, if you don't have that storyline going with you, it's really difficult. So we need to push that right from the get-go because he deserves it. He deserves to be at least in the front running, in that top 5 kind of discussion for sure. And then for the U.S. men's national team, I'll put it like this: as a Canadian, I wouldn't like to go up against him on a consistent basis. So maybe it's best that they're actually keeping him out. So thank you, Greg, for leaving him at home. But yeah, no, he deserves it. But I have no doubt he's still young. He's a 98 like myself. He's got plenty of time, and he'll get his opportunity. He'll run with it whenever that happens.
Adi Raphael.
Thanks, Pat, and thanks, Alistair, for taking the time today. Second game in a row with an assist for you. Are you right now feeling comfortable in Nancy's system? Is it? Do you feel that you're adapted to the new system?
I think again, sometimes we look at the stat sheet and we base that solely on how someone performed. Personally, I look back at that Rebel game. I thought it was one of my worst games of the year, just on the ball, but obviously an assist helps out. In this game, I definitely felt more comfortable. Again, playing on a pitch like this was great. Playing in front of our home crowd. The energy was there. Everyone looked calm on the ball, especially in that first half. And we came out with a hot start. And again, when you have a guy like Gyorgy Mihailovich, if you just look up and you put in a decent ball, he's going to get on the end of it. He's going to put it away. So it's guys like that who really, push your stats. So I'm definitely starting to get more and more acclimated with this system and this role. And that's something that we want. You can see already, that's 4 unbeaten. Should be 4 wins in a row, but we're going to keep that momentum going now into next weekend. So we're just happy with where we're at as a team. We're continuing to build. It's a little bit shaky moments, especially in those second halves, and we want to get to the point when when we go up 2-0 at home, that we're pushing for a third and we're going to kill the game rather than being on the receiving end of having to deal with an onslaught at the end, which it wasn't really today, but at the same time, again, just we were too much on the back foot there. So that's kind of the next progression for us, but at the same time, can't be mad with 3 points.
Lamarche.
Merci, Patrick. Hi, Alistair. You've been talking about Gyorgy more than you so far this this press conference, but I
Deservedly
still
so.
wanted. But can you talk about the goal? How did you see the play develop? The goal Gyorgy scored, and how the fact that he reacted the way he reacted with his right foot and in the air, kicking the ball in the net. Can you describe the whole play?
Yeah, I remember we had a good start, went deep instantly. We were in a good spot to press them, and there was a 50-50 challenge. I think it was last year where Kamal won it, and instantly we were in a good spot to attack. I remember got to Ismail, took a shot and came right back out to me. And it's the defender's worst nightmare is when a ball falls out to a guy at the top of the box who has time, because you have to step up. But, if there's one person that doesn't get out in time, that's going to hold everyone on side. It's such a difficult one because as they're stepping out, I'm clipping it back in. So I just knew, there's no need to kill this ball. There's no need to whip it in. It's just have that right touch, bring out the right club, as we like to say. That was a little, it was a little flop shot just in there, dropping in between their back line and their keeper. So he's stranded. And again, yeah, you got a guy like Gyorgy who's always just picking up, the right position, staying on side. And again, not going to miss that. He's that kind of player. He's that talented, contorted his body perfectly and back of the net 1 minute in. Perfect start at home.
Last two, Elias Laradi, and then the other Elias.
Hey, Alistair, congratulations on the win. I have three wins in a row. How do you and the team feel going into the rest of the season?
It was important that we started to pick up points, obviously, with the slower start. These were 3 games, this kind of patch right here off of the international break that we looked at and said, you know what, there's points to be had here. Of course, 2 of those were on the road and this first one back at home. But with, just picking up the points, at the end of the day, it's just important that no matter how we play or what the performance is like, if you go out and get 3 points, that's most important. So, getting the 3 points in Cincinnati and then going to New York and battling and getting 3 really puts us in a good spot. And then to come home, finally play at Stade Saputo for the first time. And this year, playing in front of our home crowd was amazing. So we knew that this was gonna be a great chance for us to, collect all the points that we needed. So again, that's a great spell. That's 9 out of 9 for us these past 3 games. And it gives us, a really good just base going into a tough place to play in Philadelphia next weekend, which I believe is the next game. I could be wrong on that. But the next one, there's lots of away games. So whenever you're at home, you need to make that place a fortress. And that was something that was important to us, is we had to go out there, keep winning, keep getting results so that our crowd can get behind us and want to come out and support. Because they're the main reason. They're what makes this place a fortress. And if you want to be a good team in the league, you have to win at home. It's a non-negotiable. So we want this place to be a fortress, and that's a great start.
And the last one, Elias Grigoriadis.
Merci, Pat. Hi, Alistair. You must have come into the season knowing that dropping unnecessary points was a bit of a theme last year. And it seemed as if the second they pulled one back, it was almost like a flip the switch where there was some unforced errors. Sorry, there's a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Elias, can you turn your volume down, please? Thank you.
Everyone just seemed really on edge along that back line. So just wondering, what mentally, as a defensive core, you guys did to kind of shift that back into normal.
So I think I got the most part of that. I think, after a first goal, it's tough not to go from being on the front foot to just absorbing a little bit. It's just that mentality that happens no matter who you are. You look, no matter what team you're playing with, what team you watch across the world in any sport, it's tough not, especially when you go up 2-0 like we did, to just sit back a little bit. And that's something that with our style of play can be really dangerous, as a possession team that wants to take risks playing out from the back and really keep teams on edge. If we stop doing that, all of a sudden we can get pinned in and it becomes a bit of an onslaught. So I don't think it was that necessarily an onslaught, for example, but at the same time, it's that's going to be our next progression, is staying brave and staying true to our principles, that no matter what the score is, that we're still on the front foot, because that's what this team needs to be doing. You know, we're at home, we go up 2-0 to start, you know, the second half. We need to be pushing for a third rather than just trying to protect that lead. So that's the next step for us, and it's something we're going to look at. And as a back line, you know, we just got to keep defending our box. We got to do a better job at that. Obviously, the offside goal is difficult. He came back from an offside position to loop that one in off the deflected cross. But at the same time, is that, you know, we got to do better to just stop crosses in general. So that's something that we're going to continue to work on, and that's something that we really need to focus on in training. But at the same time, you know, we got the win, and that's the most important.
Merci, Alistair. Thank you.
Merci.
Voilà pour ce soir. Merci tout le monde. Bon retour à la maison pour ceux qui sont au stade. Bon week-end, et puis on vous envoie l'horaire de la semaine à venir dès que possible, comme d'habitude. Have a great weekend.